Subscribe now, because what you are about to hear could change the way you look at the coins in your pocket forever. Take a moment. Slow down. Imagine holding a solid piece of history in your hand. Not gold bars locked away in a bank vault, not stocks on a screen, but a single South African 5 Rand coin from 2021. At first glance, it looks ordinary, familiar, almost forgettable. That is exactly why most people overlook it. And that is where opportunity hides. For men who have lived long enough to understand patience, value, and timing, this story hits differently. You already know that real wealth is rarely loud. It does not shout. It waits quietly while others rush past it. The 2021 South African 5 Rand coin represents more than currency. It represents a moment in time, a country's resilience, and a shift in how modern coins are viewed by serious collectors. The year 2021 was not just another year. It was a period shaped by global uncertainty, economic pressure, and historic transitions. South Africa, like many nations, was redefining itself in a changing world. Coins minted during such periods often carry a silent weight. They are witnesses. Decades later, collectors do not ask how common something looked back then. They ask how rare it became over time. This 5 Rand coin carries the strength of the nation it came from. The Springbok, a symbol deeply tied to South African identity, speaks of endurance and pride. The coat of arms reflects unity and power. These are not decorative elements. They are messages pressed into metal, designed to last far longer than paper money or digital numbers. Men who understand legacy know that value grows with story. A coin without a story is metal. A coin with a story becomes an asset. The 2021 issue stands at the crossroads between traditional circulation coins and the modern era where fewer people use cash every year. That shift alone changes everything. As digital payments rise, physical coins quietly disappear. Fewer are saved, fewer remain in pristine condition, and fewer survive untouched by time. Collectors in their 20s chase trends. Collectors in their 50s and 60s chase meaning. They understand that the best pieces are not always ancient. Sometimes they are modern coins that future generations will struggle to find. This is how sleeping giants are born in the world of numismatics. Condition matters. A circulated coin tells one story. An uncirculated or near-perfect example tells another. Sharp edges, clean surfaces, original luster. These details separate a common piece from a standout specimen. Experienced men know this instinctively, whether they collected stamps, watches, cars, or tools. Quality always outlives quantity. There is also the psychological factor. Coins tied to strong national symbols attract global attention over time. South Africa's role in world history, its resources, its struggles, and its triumphs keep international collectors watching closely. When demand rises across borders, prices do not climb slowly. They jump. Think back to coins you once spent without thinking. Think of items you once owned that are now worth fortunes. History teaches one lesson again and again. The biggest regrets are not losses. They are missed chances. Coins are one of the few assets where a small decision today can turn into a powerful legacy tomorrow. This is not about hype. It is about awareness. Men who have reached a stage in life where wisdom outweighs impulse understand that wealth preservation is just as important as wealth creation. Coins like the 2021 South African 5 Rand offer both. They are tangible, durable, and immune to system crashes and digital failures. Imagine passing this coin down, not just as money, but as a story. A reminder that value is often hidden in plain sight. That patience beats noise. That quiet decisions can echo for generations. Now here is where the conversation becomes truly interesting. Among serious collectors and insiders, there is growing discussion, speculation, and long-term forecasting about certain modern coins reaching extraordinary valuations in the distant future. Not overnight, not next year, but over decades, as rarity tightens and demand intensifies. And according to the most ambitious projections and collector legends whispered in private circles, the ultimate future value spoken about for a pristine, perfectly preserved 2021 South African 5 Rand coin is a staggering figure. $10 million. dollars. Whether that number becomes reality or remains legend, one thing is certain. Every legendary asset started as something ordinary that someone chose not to ignore. Subscribe now so you never miss another story about the rarest treasures hiding in plain sight. Treasures that might be sitting in your drawer right now without you even knowing it. Today I'm going to take you on a deep, engaging journey into a coin most people ignore. A coin that has traveled through the hands of farmers, workers, travelers, and families across a nation, yet carries a mystery that almost no one talks about. It's the South Africa 2,250 cents coin, a small copper-plated steel disc that has gained a mythic status among collectors and enthusiasts in recent years. And what makes it especially interesting is not just its design or its metal or its age, but the unusual stories that have begun to surround it. Now, before we dive into those stories, take a moment to imagine the world in 2002. South Africa was changing fast. New leaders, new ambitions, a new era rising. The mint was producing everyday coins that represented the strong national identity, and among them was the 50 cents coin with its iconic Strelitzia design, a flower symbolizing beauty, resilience, and uniqueness. Most people who held this coin saw it as ordinary, something to buy bread, fruit, or a newspaper with. But every now and then, objects meant to be ordinary end up becoming extraordinary, not because of what they were meant to be, but because of what they become over time. And this is where our story begins. Imagine an older gentleman somewhere in a quiet town, maybe a retired miner or farmer, pouring out a jar of old coins he saved over decades. He doesn't think much of them. Maybe he keeps them because they remind him of the past. Maybe they represent years of hard work. He picks up the 2,250 cents coin, feels the weight, remembers a time when everything felt different. For him, it's sentimental, not valuable. But the moment he shows it to a local collector, everything changes. Something about the condition, the strike, the slight variations that the average eye never notices makes that collector pause. That pause is where legends begin. From there, stories start spreading among hobbyists, especially older men who have always enjoyed the thrill of uncovering something forgotten. Stories that say certain 2,250 cents coins were minted during a transitional phase. Others say a batch had unique metal inconsistencies. Some whisper that a rare set was distributed only in limited regions before being replaced. Nobody knows how much of this is true, but mystery is often more powerful than certainty. That's what pulls people in. That's what turns a coin into a treasure hunt. And older generations, especially men in their late 50s to mid-60s, know the power of history better than anyone. They've lived through changing currencies, shifting governments, rising and falling economies. They know that value is not only about metal or rarity. It is also about memory, culture, and the stories objects carry across time. When they see a coin like this, they don't just see money. They see a trace of an era they survived, an era they built. That emotional connection makes the search meaningful. Now imagine you're in your workshop or garage or study, sorting through old boxes, maybe looking for a tool or paperwork, and you stumble on an old container filled with coins you forgot about. The light hits that 50 cents piece just right, and suddenly you remember this story. You turn it over, scan the surface, and wonder, could this be the one? That moment of possibility is what keeps collectors searching. But let's go even deeper. Coins like the South Africa 2,250 cents don't attract attention without reason. The design is sharp but simple. The edges are well defined. The metal color stands out with a warm copper tone. The Strelitzia is bold but elegant, a national symbol that feels almost carved from memory itself. Collectors love that balance. They love when a coin represents both national pride and natural beauty. Another reason this coin has become sought after is that many were heavily circulated. That means finding one in near-perfect condition becomes more difficult with each passing year. Time wears metal down. Pockets, wallets, dust, moisture all slowly eat away at the details. But every so often, A coin appears that seems almost untouched, as though it slept through decades, waiting for someone with a careful eye to rediscover it. These are the coins that become valuable, not just financially, but historically. And this is where your story comes in. Millions of people overlook coins like this every day. They walk past them, spin them, drop them into donation boxes, leave them in storage. But those who pay attention sometimes find something extraordinary. And the people who tend to appreciate this the most are men who understand the weight of history, men who know the value of patience and the importance of small details. These coins reward careful eyes, steady hands, and deep respect for the past. Maybe that's why they resonate so strongly with older collectors. It's not just about the money. It's about discovering a piece of time. But let me be clear. Not every 2,250 cents coin is rare. Not every coin becomes valuable. And the truth is, the vast majority will remain ordinary. But that tiny chance, that rare possibility, is what fuels the legend. Humans have always been attracted to mystery, rarity, and hidden treasure. And this coin has become a symbol of that attraction. Let's take a moment now and return to the beginning. A small coin, made for everyday use, carried across pockets and purses for years, now becoming a topic of conversation among collectors across the world. Some people say the right specimen is worth a fortune. Some say private collectors have paid unimaginable sums. Some say certain auctions reached numbers so high they sound impossible. And that's where the most astonishing claim enters the story. Many believe that the rarest known version of this coin, in perfect preserved condition, has been valued at an astounding $4 million by a private collector. Whether the legend is true or not, the story keeps spreading, the excitement keeps growing, and collectors keep searching. And maybe that's the real treasure. Not the money, but the thrill of discovery.